Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to take that absolute flood of AI news you're seeing and, well, boil it down to what you actually need to track. The crucial stuff, the surprises, the really high-stakes developments. And if you felt like the pace is just overwhelming lately,
Yeah.
yeah, you're definitely not alone. The sources we dug into this time, I mean, we're talking infrastructure deals measured in gigawatts, literal gigawatts, and then these breakthroughs happening on a single laptop. It shows a market moving incredibly fast.
Almost unnervingly fast when you say
Uh,
the speed itself is becoming the story.
Exactly. So our mission today is simple. Cut through all that noise. We're going to pull out the key bits across infrastructure, the latest model developments, how businesses are actually using this stuff, and of course the ethics and governance mess that follows. Think of this as your strategic shortcut. Okay, let's get into it. Where's the really big money, the power concentrating right now? It has to be the core infrastructure.
Absolutely. It's fascinating. The conversation isn't just about who has the smartest algorithm anymore. It's shifted to who can actually afford to run these things at scale.
Yeah.
Who controls the power, literally.
Right. The sheer amount of investment in hardware and power grids, it's kind of mind-blowing. Take OpenAI's physical plans. We're talking about deploying 10 gigawatts of AI data centers. 10!
Let's put that in perspective. 10 gigawatts.
Yeah.
That's enough power for, what, several large cities?
Mm-hmm.
Just for AI compute, it's a massive, massive draw.
And it's global, too. There's talk of a huge $25 billion data center investment down in Argentina.
Partnering with Sur Energy, yeah. Specifically focused on renewable power for AI.
It just underlines how fundamental this hardware race is. You've got celebrity money flowing into this core stuff.
It tells you where the perceived value is, right? Control the pipes, control the power.
Okay, so if entry now costs gigawatts, that leads straight to the AI chip war, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And these partnerships become critical, like OpenAI working with Broadcom on custom chips.
Trying to get more efficient, more powerful for their specific needs.
Exactly. But maybe the biggest news on the competitive front is AMD. They're seriously challenging Nvidia now.
That stock surge was something else, the OpenAI deal. What was it, up to 6 gigawatts of next-gen GPUs?
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar deal. Projected to bring in tens of billions for AMD. It's seen as, potentially transformative.
So does this mean hardware is the real moat? The ultimate barrier to entry?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Right now, if you control those massive GPU clusters, you seem to hold the cards. You set the pace.
But wait, if AMD is jumping in with such a big deal, doesn't that, slightly weaken the moat? More competition, more options?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
It does expand the options, but
yeah.
Are we seeing true democratization? I don't think so. Not yet. The cost and the sheer volume needed are still immense hurdles. It's maybe moving from a monopoly to a duopoly.
Still pretty restrictive for smaller players, though.
Absolutely. And all this infrastructure build-out, it's being driven by huge demand, especially from businesses trying to adopt AI.
Right, the corporate adoption piece. We're seeing the big platforms fight for that enterprise market. Google just launched Gemini Enterprise, didn't they? Going right after Microsoft and OpenAI.
Yeah, focusing on business stuff, workflow automation, better data handling, even an HR platform using AI for recruitment.
And Salesforce, they're putting, what, $15 billion into AI?
Something like that.
Okay.
They're trying to turn Slack into this central AI hub. Agents, real-time info, all baked into chat.
What I find really interesting there is how the walls between competitors are kind of blurring. Microsoft Copilot, for instance, it now plays nice with Gmail, Google Drive.
Right. You can use Copilot to summarize stuff or draft things across different platforms, even competitors. It seems like they're prioritizing getting users hooked on the workflow, maybe more than locking them into just Microsoft tools.
Which makes sense for adoption. Okay, so the giants need gigawatts. But here's the paradox. Let's talk about the models themselves, because some of the really surprising stuff is coming from smaller, more efficient models. It's not all about brute force.
Yes. This is where it gets really fascinating. These smaller, often open-source models are showing unexpected power. Efficiency is becoming key.
Like that April model. April 1.515B thinker. It supposedly hit top-tier math accuracy.
On a single GPU.
Yeah.
15 billion parameters doing high-level math on hardware lots of people can access.
That's huge for opening things up, right? Lowering the barrier for research.
Definitely. It suggests efficiency might be catching up to just raw scale.
So what's driving that efficiency gain? Better architecture.
Architecture's part of it, sure. But a big shift seems to be in how they're trained. Labs are using reinforcement learning RL much earlier in the process, during pre-training on massive datasets. They call it web-scale RL.
So using feedback loops right from the start across web-scale data.
Kinda, yeah. Guiding the learning more effectively, not just tweaking at the end, making it more targeted from the get-go.
And the open source world is running with this too. You mentioned the Ling
Right,
models.
the trillion parameter family. They're claiming silver-level IMO reasoning.
IMO, International Mathematical Olympiad. So solving really complex math problems just using natural language?
That's the claim. Highly complex, multi-step stuff. It shows serious reasoning capability.
Then there's Qwen. That name keeps popping up.
Qwen's been impressive. Qwen3-VL hit like 80 tokens a second running locally on Appl silicon.
80 tokens a second locally. That means it's fast, private, no cloud costs for heavy lifting. That's practical.
Exactly. And it was apparently the first open model to be #1 in both text and vision benchmarks simultaneously, topping image processing traffic.
Wow. So real multimodal strength from one model family. Size, speed, versatility. It's maturing fast.
And the underlying science seems to back this up. One source mentioned a core finding that simply having larger vocabularies helps transformer training, regardless of the model size.
Okay, but my favorite finding you flagged was the Penn State research about politeness.
Oh yeah, that one's wild. They found models like ChatGPT actually respond better, more accurately if you're direct, or even rude.
Rude. Not polite. That feels so counterintuitive for an assistant.
Right. It implies we need to totally rethink how we interact. The AI isn't looking for please and thank you. It seems to process direct commands more efficiently. Those extra polite words are just filler tokens that might confuse the core instruction. It's optimizing for clarity, not social grace.
We need to unlearn being polite to our computers. Huh.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
At least for optimal results with current models.
And just to hammer home the accessibility point, there was a guide showing someone fine-tuning a Qwen model on a MacBook?
Yeah, Qwen3 fine-tuned in under 2 minutes on a standard MacBook using MLX.
So customizing these powerful smaller models locally is becoming almost trivial.
It really seems that way. The tools are catching up fast.
Okay, let's shift gears. We've seen the infrastructure race, the model breakthroughs. What about the actual impact on work, on creativity, productivity, where rubber meets road?
This is where we see both incredible potential and some serious friction.
On the creative side, the leaps are pretty amazing. Autodesk's while a tool sketch something, boom, it's 3D in seconds.
Or Suno, that AI music tool. People singing an idea, and it generates a whole song.
And Luma's Ray 3 for video editing, letting you guide edits with scribbles for really fine control. It's beyond just simple prompts now.
The tools are getting much more nuanced, and developers are getting huge support too.
GitHub Copilot pushed out, 34 improvements in 1 month?
Yeah, and VS Code keeps adding smarter AI chat features for suggesting code, debugging.
Clearly, organizations see massive productivity gains in code generation. That's where a lot of the immediate focus is.
What? It's always a but, isn't there? The efficiency gains have a sharp edge.
You mean the job cuts? The TCS news was stark.
20,000 jobs potentially being cut at Tata Consultancy Services, partly due to AI adoption and policy shifts. It's not theoretical anymore, it's happening.
And even for those still working with AI, there's this problem emerging.
Work slop. Yeah, work slop. Because it's so easy to generate text, code, whatever. People are churning out quantity, not always quality.
And it floods workplaces with stuff that needs heavy checking.
Exactly. It can actually hurt productivity if you can't trust the first draft your colleague generated with AI. It erodes team trust.
Which is fueled by another issue, security, this whole shadow AI thing.
Right. That Microsoft finding was eye-opening. 71% of UK employees admitting they use consumer AI tools, like the free ChatGPT or whatever, for work tasks.
Unauthorized tools, meaning sensitive company data could be going who knows where.
Precisely. Bypassing all the corporate security, compliance checks,
Mm-hmm.
huge risk for IP leaks, privacy breaches.
So companies need to provide secure official channels.
Absolutely. Which is why you see players like Okta stepping up with better security frameworks, specifically for these enterprise AI agents. The AI tool itself is the new security parameter.
Okay, final area then. Trust, governance, ethics, the really thorny issues that are scaling just as fast as everything else.
And arguably lagging behind in terms of solutions.
The deepfake problem is definitely getting worse, right?
Right.
Tools making it easier to create convincing fakes.
Super realistic fake media. And it raises ethical questions even for the big labs, like OpenAI's Sora video tool.
The controversy about potentially using AI to generate likenesses of deceased celebrities without family say-so.
Yeah, exactly. It opens a huge can of worms ethically.
And beyond celebrities, this tech is being weaponized now.
Unfortunately, yes. Reports of AI being used to create and spread, frankly, racist and dystopian videos in Europe to fuel extremist narratives.
Manipulated images, synthesized audio, spreading hate and disinformation fast. It's a serious challenge to just knowing what's real.
It really is. And the platforms and labs are under pressure to respond.
OpenAI launched some new metrics, didn't they? Trying to measure political bias in their models.
Yeah, aiming for more transparency, trying to show they're working on keeping responses balanced, especially on sensitive topics.
And scientifically, there's this ongoing debate about data, the risk of model collapse.
hmm The worry is that if AI models keep training primarily on data generated by other AIs, synthetic data quality could degrade over time. Future models might just learn the errors and quirks of previous ones, becoming detached from real-world grounding. So experts are pushing for a healthier mix with high-quality real-world data.
Makes sense. Garbage in, garbage out, amplified.
Basically, yeah. And then you have direct security flaws causing issues.
Like that Google Gemini vulnerability, the ASCII smuggling thing.
Right. A way to potentially trick safety filters using hidden characters and prompts. Google initially refused to patch it, which caused a backlash.
Especially when competitors like OpenAI apparently address similar flaws faster.
Exactly. It raises questions about how quickly companies should respond to vulnerabilities and who sets the standard for AI safety practices. User trust is fragile here.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. The ground is definitely shifting fast. Infrastructure deals at massive scale, surprisingly powerful small models, enterprise use exploding, but also causing job disruption and security headaches.
Yeah, to sum it up, we've got unprecedented scaling, fueled by chip wars and business demand. We've got innovation driving surprising efficiency in smaller models. But running right alongside all that, intense, immediate problems with misinformation, work slops impacting productivity, and the huge challenge of securing AI use within organizations. They're racing to catch up.
And we talked about that argument, that maybe chasing expensive custom model training isn't the best path, that it's sometimes more about optics, especially when the big money flowing into infrastructure is bet on that model training mode being the key advantage. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. As models like ChatGPT aim to become everything apps through direct messaging and companies battle work slop, if the cutting edge is shifting towards these super efficient, maybe even locally run models, and big custom training runs are costly and maybe not always better than targeted fine-tuning, how should you adjust your strategy? Is the real competitive edge now about getting access to the absolute biggest, best models? Or is it more about having deep expertise in your own field, amplified by the smartest, cheapest, most efficient tools you can get your hands on? Where does the true advantage lie now?